Cervical cancer is one of the strongest examples of a preventable gynecologic malignancy. It has a long pre-invasive phase, effective screening methods, HPV vaccination, and treatable precursor lesions. Yet, invasive cervical cancer continues to occur. For a gynecology resident, this topic is not just about memorizing incidence and mortality. It is about understanding where prevention succeeds, where it fails, and why women still present with invasive disease. Now let us understand the risk factors for cervical cancer. The most important way to remember these risk factors is to connect them to HPV. Most risk factors either increase exposure to HPV, increase persistence of HPV infection, or promote progression from pre-invasive disease to invasive cancer. The important risk factors include young age at first intercourse, especially before 16 years, multiple sexual partners, cigarette smoking, high parity, young age at first full-term pregnancy, low socioeconomic status, HIV infection, and chronic immunosuppression. Many of these risk factors are linked to sexual activity and exposure to sexually transmitted infections. Young age at first intercourse and multiple sexual partners increase the probability of exposure to HPV and other sexually transmitted infections. Herpes virus and chlamydia infections are considered possible cofactors. Cigarette smoking is another important risk factor. Smoking likely causes local immunosuppression in the cervix and increases the risk of cervical squamous cell carcinoma. Its association may be less strong for cervical adenocarcinoma. HIV infection increases the risk through immunosuppression. In fact, cervical cancer is described by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as an AIDS-defining illness in patients infected with HIV. Chronic immunosuppression works through a similar mechanism by reducing the ability to clear persistent HPV infection. Reproductive factors also matter. High parity and young age at first full-term pregnancy are associated with increased risk. The relationship between oral contraceptive use and cervical cancer has been debated. Most epidemiological studies suggest that oral contraceptives increase cervical cancer incidence, mainly with more than 5 years of use, especially in HPV-positive women. So the key resident takeaway is this. Do not memorize these risk factors as a random list. Think of them as factors that increase HPV exposure, impair HPV clearance, or promote progression to invasive disease. That is the clinical logic behind cervical cancer risk factors. Once we understand the risk factors, the next step is to understand the central cause, persistent high-risk HPV infection. So in the next lecture, we will discuss the etiology of cervical cancer, focusing on high-risk HPV, viral persistence, and how HPV drives cervical carcinogenesis. Watch the video. Open your textbook. Know the disease.